Sonny Donnelly, IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. I'm driving around Stratford today with Ohara Davies.
Yo, yo, yo.
Ohara, I know that boxing is your main passion in life, but life hasn't always been this easy.
It hasn't.
I'm just talking to you, you got your first car now?
Yeah, I literally passed like my driving test about 2 months ago. I must have failed it about 7-8 times, and every time that I failed it, it was always on one little thing that I failed it on. But I failed it so many times, but I kept on booking it again, and finally passed.
Well, that's alright then, isn't it? Now you're driving so you can get everywhere and go meet with them girls.
That's right.
So what was it like growing up around here?
You know, it was obviously, it's not easy around here. It was really tough. There's not as many opportunities out here than there are in different parts of the country, you know. Like a lot of the gang culture was around back in my day. Like a lot of the gang culture was there and stuff. So it was really rough, and you easily got sucked into the culture.
How did you manage to escape the culture?
I don't know. I just started boxing in a youth club one day when Tony Cisse came down to the youth club, and I started boxing from there. And at that time I just got kicked out of school because I was going to Crown Court at like 15, 16 years old. I got kicked out of school and didn't have anything to do with my time. You know, I sold drugs. I got arrested for that as well, so that didn't really work out. So it had literally nothing to do with my time. So Tony used to come and take me to the gym every day. He used to take me to the gym, and to make sure that I wasn't doing anything after the gym, he used to keep me in the gym from morning till night, and then he would take me back home at night, or I'll get a bus home at night. So he literally made sure that boxing was like my whole life. Anywhere that he went, he took me there. So he made sure that like I didn't really have time for friends like that anymore because I was in the gym so much. So I was in the gym more then than I'll say I'm in the gym now.
Did your friends sort of turn on you, would you say, when you stopped hanging around with them, or was it?
When I stopped hanging around there, they all just supported me. They said, like Davis is just on his boxing thing now. He's just on this boxing thing. So they just like.
Do you still see them now?
Yeah, I still see some of them now. Like some of them are doing really well for themselves. You know, most of them aren't really doing that well for themselves, but a couple of them are still doing really good for themselves. And you know, I'm still in Hackney, so as I'm driving around, or like I go for walks sometimes, and I see them around. So you know, Hackney's always going to be my home. It don't matter where I get in life or what happens, or you know how rich I may get or how rich I may not get. Hackney's always going to be home. So I'd always be there.
Could you ever see yourself getting to where you are now? Would you ever have imagined it when you was in that youth club punching a bag for the first time? Did you ever think you'll be fighting on a Matchroom card, fighting at the O2 and stuff like that?
Not in a million years. Boxing wasn't even like my passion. The first week when Tony Cisse came, it was like there was like 30 of us in a youth club. Everyone went inside the room and got gloves and stuff. I was like the only one that I didn't go inside because they said, like they got a boxing coach here. I was like, so like I wasn't really interested in boxing. So not in a million years did I even want to imagine that I'll go to the boxing class, let alone become an amateur and then become a pro and then become a good pro. So it was just unexpected, really.
What was your amateur career like? Was there any ups and downs, or was it quite a steady road with Tony?
Tony Cisse?
Yeah.
You know, like at the start it was a steady road, but then like towards the end of my amateur career, you know, we and Tony did have our ups and downs, and you know, we did have a few arguments here and there, and I don't know if it was due to me changing, like my personality changing, or maybe we just didn't really gel like that anymore. Like I think at the start of my boxing career, because I was so young and stuff, like I was so young, and like I just listened to anything he said, kind of thing. But then as I started to get older, I think certain things, like I think he probably still saw me as a young kid that he first met, even once I got quite older. So like he'll say certain things, and I was just like you know what I mean, just get. You
had an opinion by then.
Yeah.
You could talk back.
Yeah. And but Tony's a great coach, you know, he's a great guy. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am now in life. You know, he came out into the youth club and he coached me, he coached us. When I went down to the gym, I didn't have enough to pay subs. It was like £3 a day to go, like I like to use that gym. Times that I couldn't pay subs, you know what I mean, I'll go to Tony and say like I ain't got the money to pay subs. So he used to go and pay them for me, and like we'll go down to the bagel shop in Brick Lane every Thursday, he'll get me a few bagels and like, you know what I mean, like he done his bit. Like he got me like boots and sparring gloves and all that stuff. It might not have been brand new, but it might have been second hand, but it was still in good shape. Everything that he got me was always in good shape, so I was able to work with it.
So was he a bit of a father figure to you?
100%, 100%. You know what I mean? My real dad, like, wasn't around. Like, he wasn't around. Like, he left us when he was young. So didn't really have a father figure when I was young and growing up.
Do you think that contributed to you getting involved in gang crime because you didn't have anyone to sort of tell you what was right and wrong or put you in line?
That contributed a little bit, but mainly what contributed was the area I was from. Like, anyone around that area, what we thought was that you join the gang, it makes you cool. Like, just like some people think, or what I think now, is that what makes you cool is when you become a success and you become a world champion. That's what makes you cool. But back in those days, it was like, yeah, like you join the gang and that's what makes you cool. So it was just a different way of the mind thinking.
But after the sort of Tony Sese period,
yeah,
you was with Tunde Ajay.
Yeah, after Tony went down to Sunday, you know, me and Tony had an argument in the gym and stuff, and just didn't really work out. And I think he wasn't really interested in the pro game that much. He more was like with the amateur game. Like I phoned him one time and I was like, oh, like I want to go pro. I'm ready to go pro. He was like, yeah, but you can't go pro right now. You have to do something as an amateur, either win the Commonwealth or the Olympic Games, or do something, like get somewhere, or like win the ABAs or something. But I just knew that I wanted to go pro. But when he said that to me, I just really think it was his way of just saying like he's not ready. Like he doesn't really go and believe in the pro game. So I think that was just an excuse kind of thing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that was just an excuse. But so I think he's more with the amateur thing and helping out people that are young get somewhere in life or find out what they're good at, their true potential and stuff like that. But with the pro game, I just don't think he really agrees with it.
So how quick after you turning pro did Matchroom Sports and Eddie Hearn come knocking?
I don't say they came knocking. What happened was me and Tunde, I had my first and second fight under Tunde, and you know, things didn't work out between me and Tunde, and I was put in a position that I believe no fighter should really be put in. You know, there was like, it was so complicated that there was so much complications when I was there. But you know, but Tunde is a great coach. So at the same time, I still believe he's a great coach and he's a great man. You know, and I still love him and everything. And but we just couldn't really get along. But then, so after my second fight, I went down to Tony Sims. I went down to Tony Sims' gym with Arj. Arj phoned me one day.
You love a trainer with a T name, didn't you?
You're right, innit? Tony, Tunde, Tony. What happened was I was at home one day and I got a phone call from Arj, James Arjun, and he was like, I'm going down to Tony Sims' gym, so just come down and watch me train. It wasn't anything like, you know, come and join. It was more like, just come and watch me train, because I hang around Arj quite often, so I just went down with him. I wasn't driving then, so we got a train and a taxi there, and I met Tony Sims there, and he was like, yeah, like if you want to come down next week and spar Ricky Burns, then come down next week, you can spar Ricky, and you know, and I'll have a look at you. So I was like, seriously, me and Ricky Burns sparring, like he's a former world champion. I mean, he's a good fighter.
That must have been so surreal.
Yeah, it was. So like, I was more looking forward to actually meet Ricky Burns, like once he came in. So like, it came through the door. I was like, wow, that's actually Ricky Burns over there. And then afterwards, like, we sparred. You know, we had a good sparring session, and I think Tony was really impressed with how I sparred. And from then, we just you know,
never looked back.
Never looked back.
So what's it like? Obviously now you've been with Tony for a few fights. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so different than my old camp. Than being at Tunde's. Like the way that they train, for one, is really different. You know, like it's much more. I find it more intense at Tony Sims' gym. Like the training, I find more intense than it was at my old camp. You know, but he's got like a few fighters. You know, Sims has got like 6 fighters now, and like I love it. I love it there. Like it's like a home. You know, everyone gets along well. There's no arguing. There's no reason for me not to be happy.
And you get to go to Brentwood every day and see all the pretty girls.
And I get to go to Brentwood every day and see the pretty girls. I love them.
It's always an upside, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What do you want to do within the next year?
Win a title, make a lot of money, become more successful in my boxing career, and like just be able to show the world what I've actually got. Like the opponents that I've been fighting against now, they're not really the best of opponents, and like
you want to test yourself?
Yeah, like I feel like the people don't know how good I actually am, because I've been fighting like these bums. Yeah, I've been doing really good against them, but that's not what I want. I want to be able to show how I fight against someone good.
Who do you want to fight?
Anyone really. I don't mind. I don't mind anyone. But you know, Eddie Hearn said my next fight should be a title fight. I hope it's a title fight. Scott Cardo fought against Craig Evans at the O2 show, so he's had to vacate the English. So I think Adam Dingsdale would most fight for the.
I think Adam Dingsdale's already fighting for the English against Hooper.
Yeah, then most probably he'll vacate the southern area. Then I'll be fighting for the southern area, and then from then I'll work out my way from there.
Okay, well, Ohara, we're not close to the training ground or training camp, but I'm going to come in and video some of your stuff so everyone can see what you're doing in there.
That's alright.
And then people can see how the champion is made.
That's right.
Alright, Ohara Davies, thanks for talking to iFilm, and keep doing what you're doing, mate.